is my family's sawdust, far enough from the city that all you can hear is the wind through the trees. Around here, there's always something to fix, build, or create. Build or create. We've been coming here my whole life, and only recently I stopped just showing up and started building things. This is the first real thing I built here. I have no training, no carpentry background, nothing structured before this. But this place, it's not just a project site. My family actually spends time here. So whatever I build has to work. It has to hold up, look decent, feel right. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it has to be real. I want to eventually build something much bigger, a cabin, a proper structure, something I could actually live in. And I figured the only way I could get there is to start building things that matter now, here on this land. The first thing I needed was a shed, somewhere to store tools, materials, keep things dry. Simple enough in theory. I started with what I had, plenty of reclaimed wood from a demolished site of a previous house. This was heavy work, but it was pennies for what wood actually costs. It didn't matter so much how straight the beams were, how many nails it had. All that mattered was if the end structure would hold. The framing was the first real challenge. I watched enough YouTube to feel confident going in, which is exactly the kind of confidence that you sort of need to try things. I learned as I went and adapted to every step moving forward. Sometimes I miscalculated and had to go about fixing mistakes while I was able.
Putting on the roof was probably the most rewarding part of the build. As the saying, a roof over your head, emphasizes the roof specifically without the walls. Anyways, I'm not sure where I'm going with this. Building the roof was fun. I learned about the horizontal slats and importance of building in line. When you build properly, you will only miss the slats if your eyes are looking at two different postcodes at the same time. What I'm trying to say is that I've done a lot of guesswork. I guessed it should be something like this, and this, or that, I guess it's this. I guess this is the learning stage, when you are guessing at first.
I also found some perlite at the basement of sawdust, and I thought that I could use them for my tiles. I guess they're more bricks than tiles, but yeah, the flooring. And then storms hit, rain hit when I was installing the facade, but life happened.
I've lost footage to the part where I build the actual walls, and yeah, this is the just final stages of the build. This because when I was doing the lifting up the beams, one of the beams fell on the tripod and it smashed the tripod. So I was trying to make a DIY tripod and smashed my phone completely. Black screen. I don't have the footage of the rest of the build, but I can show you the details how it went. That was the final stages of putting in the lock, so I think I'm just gonna hide it under this because everything is on nails. There's no need to unscrew. I mean, probably break into this with a crowbar, but I prefer it this way. It's much more, I find nails to be much nicer to work with. Sort of opened up and it's very easy for water to get in, but I think I don't know, I think I'm just gonna leave it. Ledge. Oh, didn't take into account a lot of times I think about something but don't act upon it. Had a thought of, okay, I need to test the door first if it even goes in. Don't do this. Fucking, now I have the option of either redoing this, which makes this joint a little bit weaker because it obviously has more holes, or chopping into the door, but I don't want to do that. Oh, bad thing that I just did, which could have saved me like 15 minutes. Done it. 11. Okay, last ones. Boom. Boom, boom. I'll need some more. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. Okay. Boom. This thing. Boom. I love this. I need to chop a little bit off here. Boom, boom, boom. Up to here. Boom, boom, boom. Just the very, very corner. Just the very, very corner. Boom, boom. Not moving. I don't really want to rip it off the wall either.
When putting on the latch, I thought in my head it made sense to make it more secured by adding 2 screws and 2 nails. And after I put in the door, there was a lot of nails sticking out the other side, so I went over and cut them all out. To summarize the project, nothing here is perfect. Certain parts are just bad. But it is what it is. Some of these joints are going to be a little sus. Some of these walls may be longer than others, but that's the reality of self-taught actually looks like. It's not a show of that's how it's built. Like I even managed to trap myself because of installing the hinges on the wrong end. But I'm just willing to try without knowing. And this is the cost of finding out. Lesson 1. Start before you're ready. You'll learn more from a shed you built badly this year than a cabin you're planning for next year.